Chelsea Flower Show is undoubtedly the most glamorous event in the gardening calendar, and we were delighted to see our stone featuring heavily in the Montessori Centenary Children's Garden designed by Jody Lidgard. Jody's garden won a gold medal and featured our duck egg pebbles in both the 15 to 30ml and 30 to 50ml sizes, along with our duck egg cobbles and Nordic mixed quartz. The garden was designed as a child-focused space, with brightly coloured planting that made learning exciting and fun. The garden was sponsored by the Montessori Centre International, who provide training in early years education. Montessori are currently celebrating 100 years of work in the UK. The garden used steel gabion baskets to create a lot of the structure of the garden, and these housed our duck egg 15 to 30ml pebbles. The idea behind the gabion baskets is that our pebbles would provide a home for small animals and insects, and the detail and texture of the gabions would be more intimate for children. The gabions were also used to create a large water feature with colourful glass gargoyles that drip water into the raised water dipping pond and playstation below. Our Nordic mixed quartz formed the base of the garden, where various child-related gardening items were situated. Our duck egg cobbles and duck egg pebbles in the 30 to 50ml size were positioned around the plants in this space and complemented the Nordic mixed quartz beautifully. We spoke to Jody Lidgard from Bespoke Outdoor Spaces to find out a little bit more about his garden and how the creation of it went.
So, our involvement with the Montessori garden was born through us building a garden at Hampton Court last year. We built a garden at Hampton Court where we were very lucky and we got a gold medal. A couple of weeks after that we were asked to pitch for the Montessori garden. I've got 6 children at home, my lovely wife, and to build a children's garden, design a children's garden is a dream come true. If you ask my wife, she'll tell you that there's actually 7 kids, not 6. The gabion walls, and I'm not just saying this, the gabion walls, we designed the gabion walls to be detailed and small. It worked out so much better than what we could even have imagined. We've got a duck egg blue pebble in there, 20-30ml, and it fits in there very nicely. The only thing that I hadn't estimated was the time it takes to fill them. So in my mind it would take us a day, in actual time it took us 3. Our most challenging element for the build was the dig out, because we had really poor weather. So when we started digging out, the weather turned bad. Everything suddenly turned to like the sod, so it was wet, sticky mud. And we dug down probably 800, 900mm. So everybody was black and covered in mud. Everything was sliding away. Everything was dirty. So we needed to get to a point where we could work clean. So there was a point when we had like 2 days solid rain where we had to sort of stop what we were doing and try and clean it.
How would you tell?
So the gabion walls were inspired by the fact that we wanted somewhere where insects and things could nurture into. We wanted detail, and we wanted something that was simple but easy to use in an urban environment and also perhaps a country environment. Gabions that you see these days though are the quite big gauge gabions. So we played around with the big gabions but it looked too industrial. So we went to our fabricator, looked at different materials, and we asked them to make us a mock-up of the small one. And when we added the pebbles to the small one, we knew that we wanted something absolutely stunning. So when we came to actually develop the gabions, we built the gabions, one of the things that we needed was fill. So we looked online, we worked with Stone Warehouse with stone, we've got the aggregate samples at home. So we actually set up several different sample cages with the aggregates in. And the mass of different materials that you guys offer, Stone Warehouse, meant that we had such a choice to work with, we were spoiled for choice. We came back to the duck egg blue because the duck egg blue comes in different range sizes. So although we've got the duck egg blue in the gabions at 20-30, we've actually gone all the way up to cobble size duck egg blue to dress the bigger parts of the garden, which has absolutely tied itself in with seams.
We thought Jody's garden was stunning, and we were thrilled to have been so involved with it.